Well, hello and welcome to another Daily Dominion. Today we have a Monday and thus have a random expansion paired with a base expansion. And this time it's Cornucopia and Guilds with some quite nice cards. Stonemason, Infirmary, Advisor, and Merchant Guild. The other 6 cards are from the base game: Gardens, Militia, Council Room, Library, Merchant, and Vassal. And as always, let's first take a quick dive into the cards. Yes, Gardens is a victory card that is worth 1 per 10 cards we have, usually not much more than Duchy, unless you somehow get to fill your deck easily. Then there's Militia. Each other player discards down to 3 cards in their hand. And its counterpart, kind of the Council Room, which lets you draw 4 cards and gives you a plus buy, but each other player also draws a card. Usually it's nice to pair those two because if you can chain a few Council Rooms and finally play a Militia, you get the opponent's, so you get to negate this benefit for your opponents. But here this won't be a possibility as there is no village. Library is not going to be relevant here. You draw up to 7 cards in hand, able to skip any action cards. Merchant Guild gives you +1 buy the coin and +1 coffers per card you gain in your buy phase. This is very nice in conjunction with an overpay of Stonemason. Stonemason is a card that on play just trashes a card from your hand and you gain 2 cards costing less than it each. But if you overpay it, you gain 2 action cards that each cost the amount you overpaid. And if you have played a Merchant Guild before, that means that you gain 3 cards on the same turn. There is Merchant, a Peddler variant that gives you +1 card and an action, so pretty neutral. But if we find a silver, it also gives you a +1 coin. Vassal is a terminal action unless you reveal unless the top card of your deck is also an action, then you can immediately play it. I don't think it's going to be relevant here with the lack of village. Infirmary, on play, draws you a card and you may trash a card from your hand. And if you overpay, you get to play this once per 1 money overpaid. So in itself, the effect is kind of weak, but if we overpay by a bunch, then we get to trash a few cards at once. Advisor, +1 action and reveal the top 3 cards of our deck. So here we only draw the 2 worst of them, as the opponent gets to decide on which card to discard. All right, let's talk strategy here. Yeah, there is no village, so we kind of have to rely on a lean deck without too many terminals. If we aim to draw deck each turn, and 1 terminal will be enough. I think that terminal wants to be Merchant Guild here. As with the Stonemason overpay, we can quickly accumulate some coffers. I don't think a garden strategy is all too viable here. Filling your deck with junk, not getting around. There's just not too much stuff to help it out. Merchants are going to be nice if you can pair them with silvers to just get through your deck quickly and just have a solid lean deck with some payload in it. And advisors as a non-terminal draw are going to be our draw. Thinning with Infirmary, and if we look at the kingdom plot, we see, well, the absence of village kind of prevalent here. Also makes the draw much worse, because Council Room and Library are mainly unusable. Alright, openings. 5-2, Infirmary overpay. I think it's just pretty nice. You are very likely to draw into one of the 3 estates, or even 2. On the 2-5, you're kind of sad, I think, just skipping the first turn and still overpaying on turn 2. On the 4-3, I opened double silver, and on the 3-4, I think opening silver overpay infirmary is nice because you get to shuffle and already see the silver here, or see the next shuffle here. Nice, we draw an estate, hitting 5 even. Now we could already get a merchant guild here, but I don't fully like that, to be honest, because we really just want to thin down for now. Maybe through another lucky infirmary overpay. I think I'm going to just, well, there are 2 considerations here. We could overpay another infirmary, trashing an estate, and whatever card comes up. This is 5 coppers and an infirmary. No, this is 1 estate, 4 coppers and an infirmary. So any of those cards being trashed might be nice. Or we could just overpay the stonemason and gain 2 merchants to get some payload in our deck. The disadvantage of that is having the stonemason also in our deck. I think I just like overpaying the infirmary, drawing 2 cards, getting to trash out yet another thingy. We can buy a merchant here. The AI does some sort of merchant guild strategy. We slowly get to thin down. For now, we could think about already getting the merchant guild, but I think I'd first like to get rid of the second infirmary. And here I'm just going for a merchant. Draw a silver. Well, now same situation as before, but we're 1 card thinner. So we might as well buy a merchant guild. And immediately kind of regret it because this draw it wasn't that nice. But here we still don't find it together with the other infirmary. Here it's important to keep 1 of the merchants in hand as we get to draw this merchant guild. I think we can afford to already overbuy for advisors. The AI, on the other hand, is going for some garden strategy, accumulating coffers by having loads and loads of merchant guilds in the deck. I'm not sure what I think about that. Our merchant guild bottom decks, and we didn't see 2 of our advisors, so now is the time to trash out this other infirmary. And I think we need to start provincing here. We can still overpay for some advisors later, which I'm going to do here. I'm still quite calm about the situation, as the AI will just have a very, very stuffy deck with loads of gardens. I mean, those will be worth more, and for it gaining more and more cards will mean that it will inadvertently score. But I think we just have all the time in the world to outbuild it and gain provinces. All right. Oops. Here, well, we had 7 again. We didn't find the merchant guild immediately, but we can use this to buy yet another province. The AI gets its next gardens. We kind of reliably find some advisors and find the infirmary. The merchant guild once again is not available to us. We might draw it here, but I think it's still worth to trash out this stonemason. We had 6 here, but with 5 coffers, I think we're free to just buy a province. Now, what the AI will do is, I think it will just try to overpay a lot to empty piles. Unfortunately, it got a merchant guild in there, so it got a few coffers. It might even hit province the next turn. And on the other hand, we are quite sad as we don't find our, well, we find the merchant guild and a few advisors, but we didn't find the silver. We didn't find other merchants. So my approach here, I think, is just getting in some more advisors while we do spend. Actually, that's probably way too risky with the AI being in a league like that. We could go for I think just a mundane silver might be okay. Saw all 3 provinces there. Yeah, the AI just provinces as well. I shouldn't have played that other that second merchant for sure, as this might be a game costing occurrence, as this will mean that we cannot couldn't do anything else but province there. But yes, let's see. The AI lets us, well, keep the advisor there. We find a bunch of stuff, but not the merchant guild. We had 8 here. Alright, 30 victory points. Hopefully find an advisor, but we don't. Now here we could think about yeah, I think it's fairly safe to buy this province, as the AI, well, the AI does have gold and a merchant guild and 1 silver, but I think it's still fairly unlikely to hit 8. Well, let's be proven wrong about this. No, it just gains an estate here. And we, on the other hand, can start going through the deck. The AI denies all of the silvers, but we find one anyways, and in the end, at long last, we can buy that last province and outscore the AI's gardens deck. Phew, that yeah, was quite interesting to see how the AI almost got ahead too far for us to catch up. And with the merchant guild, surprisingly, with the stonemason overpays, it could accumulate some coffers, even get a province in. I mean, how many cards did it have? 36, so it would have been 4 more cards up to the next gardens pop for 8 more victory points. But that wasn't that far away, to be honest. It had 3 coffers here, and if it had found another merchant guild, it could have overpaid for stonemasons and bought a copper, and already the garden strategy would be at 40 cards. But also, I think I personally didn't play this one optimally. I think getting a bit more payload in, a bit more advisors, building, yeah, just a tad longer than I did, might have been the better way. But nevertheless, I'm happy I won this, and yeah, catch you the next time. Goodbye.